How did a retail giant that once defined home goods end up in a clearance sale graveyard? This is the story of Bed Bath & Beyond, a cautionary tale of coupons, chaos, and a spectacular collapse. Our story begins in 1971 in New Jersey with a small linen shop founded by Warren Eisenberg and Leonard Feinstein. They had a simple but powerful idea: a big box store dedicated entirely to home goods. They named it Bed & Bath, later expanding it to the iconic Bed Bath & Beyond. Their strategy was genius. They created stores with seemingly endless aisles, packed floor to ceiling with an incredible variety of products. You could find everything from high-end all-clad cookware to quirky kitchen gadgets you never knew you needed. This vast selection was their superpower. While department stores offered a little bit of everything, Bed Bath & Beyond offered everything for the home. They crushed smaller specialty shops by simply having more stuff. And then there were the coupons. Oh, the iconic Big Blue coupons, offering 20% off a single item. They became a cultural phenomenon, a staple in every American junk drawer. People would save them, hoard them, and make special trips just to use them. These coupons weren't just a discount. They were a key part of the shopping experience, creating a loyal customer base that felt like they were always getting a deal. The combination of endless choice and a constant stream of discounts was unstoppable. The company expanded aggressively, opening store after store and even acquiring other brands like Bye Bye Baby and Cost Plus World Market. By the early 2010s, Bed Bath & Beyond was at its peak. It was a retail titan with over 1,500 stores, pulling in more than $12 billion in annual revenue. And its stock price soared to over $80 a share. They were the undisputed king of house. For a while, it seemed like the empire would last forever. So, where did it all go wrong? Well, the seeds of destruction were sown even during the golden years. Starting in 2004, under pressure from activist investors who wanted to see the stock price go up, the company began a massive program of stock buybacks. Now, a stock buyback is when a company uses its own cash to buy its own shares from the market. This reduces the number of shares available, which can artificially inflate the earnings per share and, in theory, boost the stock price. Between 2004 and 2022, Bed Bath & Beyond spent a staggering $11.8 billion on these buybacks. In the early days, when the company was flush with cash and had little debt, this didn't seem like a huge problem, but it was a ticking time bomb. That $11.8 billion was money that wasn't being invested back into the business. Not into upgrading stores, not into building a modern e-commerce platform, and not into a rainy day fund. While Bed Bath & Beyond was busy propping up its stock price, the world of retail was changing dramatically. Amazon was on the rise, and other big box competitors like Target and Walmart were getting much better at selling home goods, both online and in their sleek updated stores. Bed Bath & Beyond's cluttered, warehouse-like stores started to feel dated. Their online shopping experience was clunky and couldn't compete with the convenience of Amazon Prime. The company was falling behind, but instead of adapting, it doubled down on what it thought worked in the past. The leadership team seemed stuck. In a chaotic two-decade span, the company cycled through 8 different CEOs, each with a different vision, leading to a lack of consistent strategy. The ship was starting to take on water, but no one seemed to have a clear plan to patch the holes. The real turning point came in 2019. Another wave of activist investors forced a complete overhaul of the board and brought in a new CEO, Mark Tritton, a star executive from Target. Tritton had been credited with successfully reviving Target's brand by introducing popular and profitable private label products. The plan was to replicate that success at Bed Bath & Beyond. Tritton immediately launched a radical transformation. He wanted to declutter the stores and replace the beloved national brands that customers came for with a whole new lineup of private label brands. The idea was that these exclusive brands would have higher profit margins and would make Bed Bath & Beyond look more like its sleek competitors. But this strategy completely backfired. Bed Bath & Beyond's customers weren't coming for generic, in-house brands. They came for the incredible selection of trusted names like Cuisinart, Mikasa, and OXO. They came knowing they could find that one specific gadget, or that particular set of sheets. When Triton's team cleared the shelves of these popular products and replaced them with unfamiliar, and often lower quality, private labels, customers were confused and disappointed. They would walk into a store with their 20% off coupon, ready to buy a specific item, only to find it was no longer carried. They left empty-handed and frustrated. The very thing that made Bed Bath & Beyond unique its endless assortment was gone. In trying to become more like Target, they lost their own identity. Then, the pandemic hit. This was the final nail in the coffin. While competitors like Walmart and Target were deemed essential businesses and were allowed to stay open, Bed Bath & Beyond was forced to close its doors for extended periods. Sales plummeted by 17% in 2020 and another 15% in 2021. This is when the disastrous stock buyback strategy came home to roost. The company had no cash cushion to weather the storm. The $11.8 billion that could have been a lifeline was gone, used to buy back stock at prices that would soon seem astronomically high. With sales drying up, the company's debt ballooned. Liabilities more than doubled to over $5.2 billion. Things got so bad that Bed Bath & Beyond started failing to pay its vendors. The suppliers who provided the products for their shelves stopped shipping them goods. The supply chain ground to a halt. Stores became emptier and emptier, creating a vicious cycle. Customers came in, saw bare shelves, and left, further depressing sales. The final collapse was swift and brutal. By early 2022, the company was in a full-blown crisis, desperately seeking cash to survive. A plan to raise money from a hedge fund fell apart. In January 2023, the company issued a dire warning that it had substantial doubt it could stay in business, and its stock price crashed. The end was near. On April 23, 2023, Bed Bath & Beyond officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It announced it would be liquidating all of its remaining stores and winding down operations. The once mighty retail giant, with its iconic coupons and endless aisles, was finished. The final clearance sales were a sad sight, with stores picked clean and the remnants of a failed strategy on full display. The brand name itself was eventually bought by Overstock.com, which rebranded its own website, but the physical stores and the company that built them were gone for good. So, what are the lessons from this retail apocalypse? There are two big ones. First, cash is king, especially during times of disruption. The $11.8 billion spent on stock buybacks could have funded a complete digital transformation, modernized stores, and provided a massive safety net during the pandemic. Instead of creating real, long-term value, the company chased a short-term stock price boost, and it cost them everything. The second lesson is about identity. Bed Bath & Beyond abandoned the very thing that made it successful, its unparalleled selection of brands. By trying to copy its rivals with private labels, it alienated its loyal customer base and gave them no reason not to just shop at Amazon or Target. It was a classic case of a company losing its soul in pursuit of a flawed strategy. The story of Bed Bath & Beyond is a powerful reminder that no empire is too big to fail, and that ignoring your customers and your core identity is a direct path to bankruptcy. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of business. See you next time.